here we are again. Welcome to the show, everybody. Let's do this shit.
Ever since my eyes met the world, I was breaking through the chains like a match to a flame. I was born against the grain. Oh. They say I'm broken in the brain, got a shot of kerosene in my veins. But hey, they better be concerned now, cause it's my turn, and I'm only getting hotter. Take a step back or you might get burned, cause I'm a fire starter. I'm a fire starter. Yeah, I rose from the trenches and the fumes, got defiance in my bones to the soles of my shoes. And I got a thirst for breaking the rules. You can try me, but I got a short fuse. But hey, they better be concerned now, cause it's my turn, and I'm only getting hotter. Take a step back or you might get burned, cause I'm a fire starter. I'm a fire starter. Look out for my flames, baby, cause I'm dangerous. I am a fire starter. Ever since my eyes met the world, born against the grain. Take a step back or you might get burned, cause I'm a fire starter. I'm a fire starter. Look out for my flames, baby, cause I'm dangerous. I am a fire starter.
What's up, peeps? What's up, everybody, tonight? Cheyenne Walden, man, off to work. I'm glad you could stop in at least for a minute, my friend. Have a safe night. I wish I was still working that third shift, second shift stuff, man. I used to love working third shift. Yeah, that was my jam, dude. 10 to 2, or not 10 to 2, but 10 to 6. That was my jam. I come home, go to bed, and my wife, we was working, living in this one room apartment, had a reasonably big living room, but that was also the bedroom. And there was a tiny little sliver of a kitchen, and then there was an even tinier little sliver of a bathroom. It had a stand-up shower and a toilet and a sink. Well, my wife was going to college at that time. She's still in college. Hell, she's got a master's degree as well as a bunch of other degrees. But she was going to college, and she would go in the bathroom and sit down on the floor and do her homework on her toilet while I was asleep in bed, because I'd be working, third shift and needing to be asleep. And then whenever she was asleep, I'd go in the kitchen, in that tiny little kitchen, and work on RC stuff when I wasn't at work. I had my RC car set up in there. We made that work, and it's not always easy making it work. But yeah, I love third shift. I always like going in when the bosses are all home and it's just a handful of people, and you're all able to actually focus on doing your job and not stressing out over a bunch of goofy drama that's always going on during the daytime. It was very chill. I very much enjoyed those nights, man. That's why I like driving a truck. It's the same thing. I was able to get out there and do my thing without having to worry about all of the nonsense that comes with, working in a freaking office or something. Ain't nobody got time for all that drama. White Rambo, what's up, White Rambo? How are you today? Cheyenne showed up. White Rambo showed up. El Fuego from the Pacific Northwest. What's up, El Fuego? Franco Quade's in the house. Jason Ewing is in the house. Every time I see your name, I always think about the East Wing hammers. You know, that brand, East Wing. I used to use them a lot. And every time I see your last name, I always think about those damn hammers. So I'm trying to start calling you Jason Hammer. Let's see here. Fuego says, my 84 Accord was never the same after the fire started. Yeah, it's a little smoky, wasn't it? That's a fire starter, baby. Yeah, no kidding. Cheyenne said, yeah, I love my car. The back to Equinox. Hell yeah, man. Um, 10 to 6. Yeah, see, that's it. You're working that 10 to 6. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 100%, my friend. Let's see here. Franco Quaid. I don't have it hooked up, my friend. I do have it standing over there against the wall. I had it hooked up temporarily in the kitchen for the video. If you guys watched the DSP video I shot, um, the problem I'm running into is, and this is the thing I got to solve, is where to put the primary right and left speakers. You see, across from me in my space, there's a closet, a big ass closet. And there's room on both sides of the closet. The problem is one side of the closet is where the door opens. So I can't really hang anything behind that door. And then there's the closet. And, it's just a crowded space in here. So you guys notice my new view. We got Big Jeff. Well, he's not Big Jeff. He's just Little Jeff. He's Bony Jeff, actually. I don't know what to call him. He's just Jeff. But he's chilling out. His name used to be Bones, right? But I was in here positioning him and working and putting the shirt on and all this stuff. And I kept calling him Jeff. I just started calling him Jeff. I was like, hold on, quit moving, Jeff. Be still, Jeff, and all this crap. Hold your arms up, Jeff. And so his name just became Jeff. And I said, screw it. That's what we're going to call him. But yeah, back up there in the corner, I got the kicker hanging up there. And then over there behind Jeff's head is the Sony Explode. Hang on just 1 second here. Let me see if I can drag up something here. And we'll try to adjust this. There you go. See, there's the Sony Explode up there above Jeff's head. It's exploding. It's not on fire, so that's a plus. Y'all say hi to Jeff. He's got a skull bandana on. I thought that was kind of funny. A skeleton with a bandana of a skull. And he's sitting on a subwoofer, and the subwoofer I'm using in here. And that is a Hyanka 15. It's not their best one. It's the one down from it. Their very best one you can't hardly get anymore. They pretty much don't have in stock. It's the one down from it. It's like a 1500 or 1000 or 1500 watt RMS sub. Pretty solid sub. Sounds freaking great in here, man. Get Jeff back in the picture. Let's see here. 10 to 6. It's quieter at my job. Yeah. Well, that's all good, man. I showed my husband your system in the videos. Cool. Awesome. Glad you did. Get a kick out of all that stuff, man. We do our thing, man. I have a ball with this stuff. I mean, I don't even know what I would do without the car audio world and the community and everything. I would just be lost, guys. I don't have any of that. If you said, let's take all of that out of your life, I would just be watching TV or videos all day. I would have zero to do. I mean, I would have zero thing going on in my life. It's really crazy. It makes up, a good chunk of my life. But I got to put that up, the amp rack. I'm thinking I'm going to put it up here behind, like right up here in this area, from about where my finger is here, this direction. back here somewhere. That's where I think it's going to go, and it will be doing its thing. I've also got to figure out. I got so much stuff, and the way my whole setup is, it's hard for me to get anything. I don't know. It's all weird. It's all three dimensional, and it's all weird. Um, so no, I did not have it hooked up yet, but I do have. I have it hooked up. I just don't have it. Um, I don't have it playing in here, and I don't have it on the wall. The board's all put together. All I got to do is put power on it, and that's it. And then figure out where I'm going to put those two speakers. I want to put them. I'm thinking I'm going to put them way up there in the top corners of the room. It's like, well, anyway, directly in front of me, up in the very corner by the ceiling. There's a little room up there that's over the top of the door, and I could theoretically put something up there. I'll have to put some shelves up there or something. That might be what I do. I don't know. I'm still trying to come up with a way to do that part, but it's coming around. Let's see, Alexander. I don't know what that. And Jay Shipe said, "Good morning, good morning, Jay." El Fuego said, "Bobby B's fingers are too sticky from sound deadener to log onto the show." Oh, Bobby will be here. Don't worry. He's just a little bit, he's a little slacking. He's slacking. He's a slacker. Bobby is. He was talking to me earlier. He knows the show's. He knows the show is going up. Probably he's probably milking those goats or something. I don't know, man. He's got those goats out there. So let me see here. I'm going to show you guys something that we're working on. Where'd it go? Here it is. I'll pull it over here and see if I can make this work. So you know how it goes, and I'm trying to use the trying to do different things like a monitor or something, other screens. Yeah, we run into problems. So we're gonna hope that doesn't happen this time. See if I can make this work. Uh, Window. Okay, here we go. This should work. Yeah, you guys should be able to see that. Check this out. Now this is a thing. I'm going to start this over. Y'all watch this animation. I'm just going to let y'all absorb some of this. See if you can see what your brains are doing. See if your brains can pick it out. What's going on here? Uh, this is something that's potentially in the future, and it's in deep discussion right now. This is an actual functional size and everything. This is all scaled, and everything is, the right scale. Let's run it one more time. What do y'all think about this? What do y'all think about this? Interesting, huh? Yeah, I thought so. You'll notice that there are 6 circles in this thing, 6 cylinders actually. But yeah. What does it mean? What does it mean? Stu's Custom Shop. What's up, man? We're looking at a picture of something, and you're looking at those numbers and looking at the numbers. Franco Quaid said, "What does the numbers beside our name in the chart?" I don't know. Oh, it's let me see. Hang on a second. Let's pull it up over here. See if it shows up over here. No. It's probably like your post counts or something. I don't know. I can't see half that stuff that you guys can see. I can't see it. It's my interface doesn't look exactly like yours. I had to figure that out the other day because I didn't know. But yeah, this is a 615 ported flat wall um, that is sized to slip into the Tahoe. Well, slip. Yeah, not exactly slip. It's more like a sledgehammer kind of a situation. See you later, Cheyenne. Have a good night. Uh, Stu said I got 25 XP. I don't know, man. I don't have a crown. I don't see those either. That's all stuff that you guys see. Let me see if I can. I'm gonna log in on a different account. Um, see how can I do this? Maybe I could do it on Facebook. Let's see if it's on. I know I'm on. Whoa, that's bad. Let's not do that. I don't know if I can find it. Let's see. I'm curious as to what you guys are seeing. All right, so there's the live show. And Bobby said link so I can send it to everyone. Bobby, you're on crack. Bobby, hang on a minute. Okay, I want to. Oh, that's messed up. That's delay fish. Oh, this is scary. This is going to mess with my head. Hmm. Yeah, I can't watch this. This is so screwing with my brain, guys. I can't watch it. It's like really delayed. That's messed up. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. That's the old intro. What am I doing? Okay. So yeah, that was bad. I couldn't get that to work at all, man. Well, I got it to work, but I couldn't see what you guys see. I don't know what you're talking about, Bobby. Where the fuck are you at, Bobby? Stop milking goats. Oh, you guys have got a score going on. That's crazy, man. I don't even know. I can't see it. I'm jealous. This is upsetting me. I want to know what's going on. Let me see. Maybe if I okay. I'm not giving up, man. I'm just okay. I can switch to this account and uh, this might take a poke or two to get there, but no, that ain't working because I'm an idiot. Anyway, damn it. So, what do you guys think about the six sub flat wall? So, I got two plans. I got two schemes. One is a six sub flat wall. The other one is a six sub sixth order. One of those with the the horizontal baffle kind of a situation going on back behind your head. Um, it's we got it designed out to where they're both going to play in the same frequency range. The flat wall is probably the widest range because it's a flat wall. But the sixth order is probably going to be a windier. Though the way I got that port arranged in that flat wall, the port would be about right in this area, maybe a little bit. It'd be like it'd be like right about here, and then running horizontally across, something like that. And so it's literally just going to be blowing air into the cab. Um, what was it we come up with? Like 50 mile per hour velocity. My port on my flat wall right now is about the same speed, but it's vertical and it's a little wider than it is tall. So I don't know. It'd be interesting. Also, there is one possibility of doing the same 615 flat wall and having the port actually at the top, uh, coming in and then coming like down, kind of an external port that comes in and comes down, kind of in the middle of the cab. A lot harder to build, but really unique. So the whole flat wall would be just be look like a ported box. It would look like a sealed box, right? There's no ports anywhere visible. And then in the roof, in the headliner, the port would come forward and then just dump like right about on top of your freaking head. Huge pain in the butt to build, but you got to admit the port dumping on your head from the top down would be pretty freaking cool. So we got some crazy ideas, and we've been cooking a lot to get these ideas. Um, let's see. Evening, gents. Yeah. And Sham to work. Let's see. What year Tahoe? 2010. Um, yeah, I got two designs already done. Well, I got one design done, and one is like we're still cooking it. We're not sure how we're going to play it, man. I do kind of like the 75 XP. I wish I knew what the hell you guys are talking about. Next time I get to watch one of Andy's shows because he keeps freaking not doing them, I'll be able to see because I can't see none of you guys' stuff. All I can see is your basic chat information, your names and your chats and stuff. Half the time, your little the little ding dongs that you put the little the little pictures, they don't show up either. I don't know why. Um, Something to do with YouTube probably does, man. Um, it may be something to do with I don't know. I really don't know. We'll find out though. They keep adding new stuff, and unfortunately, streaming through StreamYard, I don't get a lot of that stuff. If I was streaming straight from YouTube, I probably would. I'd probably see this stuff. But StreamYard is a third party, so it kind of messes with that a little bit. Um, Never seen anything like that sub. But yeah, that's pretty intense, dude. That sub box is so tight. So the dimensions on that is 48 inches wide. And we're talking about 315s. That don't leave much, Jack. So the subs are literally eating into the sides. We have to come to the front behind the baffle and chisel out the material at the edge so that the sub can literally go in the hole. They're going to eat into the sides and the top and the bottom if we build this. That port is like a 3x45, 3 inches by up and down by 45 wide. If we put it in the enclosure, um, it's just going to fit. I mean, it's going to basically be a 3 inch port that runs from side to side, all the way to each side. Um, and then 20, I think it was 20 inches long, 20 point something inches long for a 25 or 26 hertz tune. And then, like, I think it was like 12 inches long or so for a 28 hertz tune. So, yeah, these are just rough numbers, but that's the dimensions. Um, and I don't know how big the box is deep wise, but it's 45 or 48 by like 33, I think, tall. Yeah. And I could do the port underneath, uh, or I could do it over the top, or I could do it straight out the front. If we do it underneath or over the top, it lessens the amount of chiseling work we have to do. So yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of toss ups and a lot of thoughts. Uh, let's see here. Stu said, I have a scan of a 2012 Yukon if you need 3D. That might be cool. I may have you send me that, and I could send it to the mad scientist and he can use it to do some cool stuff. That might be pretty cool. So I know he has the software and the equipment to use that software, but he probably doesn't have that scan. So he would actually know how to use that, how to make use of it. So you may just shoot me an email, and we'll go back and forth on that. Arizona F250. So best under $300, 12-inch subwoofer on the market right now. 12-inch subwoofer, the Oblivion 12. Slapz Oblivion 12. It's right there, man. It's like 280 something. Let me go look and see. Um, yeah, I mean, uh, you're welcome to try to find something better, but yeah, it's 279. There's two of them: the dual 4 and the dual 2, 2,000 watt RMS, 4-inch voice coils. They're freaking they're slamming beast of a freaking subwoofer for 279. $279. Yeah, so there you go. Question answered. Uh, Go look it up. You'll agree with me. And compare the specs to anything you want, and you won't beat it nowhere. Franco Quaid said, am I going to have to build a box inside the truck? If I do that one, yes, pretty much. I mean, I've got to. It's going to have to go together in pieces because, yeah, I'm not even sure it's going to work. But it's going to take every single. Well, let's put it this way: the design that you saw was actually a slide in. So you saw the slide in. And if we build it that way, it's going to go in as a slide in, and then I can come from the front with some baffles. Base wife is in the house. Don't you sneak up here.
I didn't want to.
Don't sneak.
I didn't want to disturb you.
You bring your hiney. See, I told you she was. Now come on down. Say hi. Because everybody loves base wife. Base wife is awesome. We're talking about these.
Okay.
And we were talking about Jeff over there.
Well, Jeff needs to be covered up. He ain't got no meat on his bones. I can't even freaking talk.
She said he needs a blanket or some pants. Hey, they actually got you.
He has no meat on his bones.
Stu said, hi, base wife.
Oh, hi.
Franco Quaid said, hi, base wife.
Take your rat poison.
Oh, man.
Yes.
She brought me my shot glass.
Okay.
I love you, dear. Oh. Okay, so I just spilled Diet Coke on my shit. Base wife in the house, yeah, baby. So basically, that box that I showed you was a slide in, but that one, if we do that one, we can actually theoretically build that. And I'm gonna tell you, the subwoofer, the flanges of the subwoofers are gonna be the edge of everything. I mean, like they're gonna be hanging out over the edges of the outside of the baffle. It absolutely just barely fits together. It's the circles are nearly going to touch each other all the way across. So the baffle's going to have to be really thick, and then also going to have some probably some 2x4s going from the back of the box to the baffle between each sub, and then I'll have to get in there and chisel out the extra and leave just it's going to be tight. It's going to be very tight. But the plus side to that is we're putting all that cone area right there. Just right there, man. Normally you don't see a 615 ported flat wall done like that. They do all of them on one side and kind of stack them offset, and then build a big old port. And they're real, they're tuned weird and everything. They're tuned for SPL. I'm not tuning for SPL. I'm tuning for wind, hair tricks, and lows. I love my wife. She's so awesome. She should let me know. Thank you, sir. Cool. On Google Drive. Kicker Comp Q is my favorite sub, but I'm on the SQ side. Comes in at $350 retail. Yeah, I got no problems with the Comp Q. I ran 2 Comp Qs in my Ford Edge for a while. Sounded great. And I had them on a DS18 SQ amp. They had a couple of these SQ amps. I think it was 1800. It was an 1800 watt amp, and it was their SQ series. They had like 3 amps in that series, and they had stupid good specs. Really good clean amps. I ran those for a while, and then I had those Kicker Qs back there. They were the ones of the factory. They come from in the box, all pre-built and everything. I like getting those setups because the boxes are perfectly matched to the subwoofer. So if I'm going to run like a setup where I just got a box and I'm building, for music, I usually go with a combo where you get the box and the subs together from like Kicker or JL or somebody. I like those because the box is tuned perfectly for the subs and everything works really well together. I really like those setups. Let's see here. We know Base Wife is in the house. I've never seen a port go from one side of the truck all the way to the other side, right? Yeah, I know. 45 inches by 3 inches is the dimensions. Um, and that's like, you think about it, once you maintain a 48-inch external constraint, right? That's what you got left. I mean, you got about 45 inches, 3/4 and 3/4 on both sides. That leaves 45 inches. And then you got a 3 inches. So it's literally from all the way from one side to the other. It should be very interesting. If I go, so my wife questioned the value of car audio until I got a nice system in her. Got a nice system, her nice system. That bass knob is all, it's on 12. Yeah, she likes it. And it's funny how that works, isn't it? Um, I've known plenty of girls that are bass heads. I had a girlfriend years back, and I was working on acquiring some bits to put my own system together, and she saw the subwoofer immediately when I first got my first sub, and I was stashing it away for the build. She saw that and she said, "You getting some for me too, right?" That was literally, she just jumped out of nowhere. She's like, "Where's my subs at?" I'm like, "Okay," surprised. I was like, "Yeah, yeah, I'll hook you up, man." And I did too. Hooked her up a nice system. This is back in the day, so things change a lot. I don't remember what I put in there, but I actually put it in a trunk car. It was it was a Dodge K car, like I don't remember what it was called, but it was a trunk, and I went in there and put in a board up under the trunk lid, up under the back deck, the package tray as they would call it. Um, and I had it spaced off so that the springs would work. And then I mounted her subwoofer amp and a mids and highs amp to that board, and had all the wires zip tied up and clean and everything. And then the sub set down in the trunk, pushed up against the back seat, fired back in the trunk. And I had removed the rear deck speakers. I told you I had the board spaced off like a half inch, so that allowed the subs to get through really good to come through that back panel back there. It was pretty cool. That's what I did in her shit. Um, I don't remember what I put in her front stage, but I'm pretty sure I had JLW3s in her trunk. Two of the JLW3 12s, I believe is what was back there. It's been a very long time ago, but the brain remembers car audio. Stu said, "Halfway go, hey, shoot me a pic with a 415 I did in a Navigator. Ran the port vertical down the center. That's what I did. That's what I've got in my Tahoe right now. That's exactly what I've got. It's like, off the top of my head, it's like 4 inches by 22 inches or something like that, roughly. 4 inch wide by like 20 something inches tall by like, I don't remember what it was deep, but yeah, it's support the center, two subs on each side. Does the job. Um, my only complaint is I want I've always wanted the port to hit you in the head, right? I want the port to yeah, I want you to get shot in the head with the port as well as everything else. I want to create as much turbulence and wind and and air movement in the cab as I can, no matter where I get it from. I don't care. I just want lots of air moving around at a high velocity. And so having the port somewhere where it's literally blowing on your head is going to help do that. That's what I'm all about. Um, Living live with Andy. I'm glad you showed up. Now, see, I was just talking crap about you earlier. I was like, well, I don't know. You don't ever want to do shows anymore. So I guess I don't even know what the chat looks like now. They were talking about how the chat had something weird going on with the little scores and XP or something. I don't know. I can't see it though on StreamYard. It doesn't show up on my end. So I said I hadn't been on Andy's show in so long. I don't even remember what it looks like whenever you're chatting on the thing. Uh, so it is. It's all good, man. But yeah, glad you showed up. And Andy says, at Sheets in West Virginia, appreciate the fill-in CAE. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Also, hello, chat. Miss you guys. I will see you this Tuesday with DIY Audio Guy. Oh, we're going to do a little guest spot. Hell yeah, y'all will be fun together. Stay living loud. Uh, Andy just dropped on up in here. Fuego's doing great, man. He's on fire. He is on fire. Uh, what's up? Ripping and flipping cards. What's up, man? Let's see here, Stu. Stu and Andy going back and forth now. Let's see. Hope you're hanging in there, Fuego. Stu's Custom Shop. Hell yeah, man. Ain't nothing but love in here, man. We all taking care of each other and looking out. Uh, so yeah, that's what we got going on the 615 flat wall plan. Then the sixth order is another story entirely. See, the problem I have with our sixth order design is it's like approximately 13 inches up and down on the top chamber and the same on the bottom. They're almost the same. It's not quite a 1-to-1, but it's close. The problem is there's like 13 inches of space to put the subwoofers in. And so I've come up with a way to come in from the back and remove the back of the box and the front, so I can come in from the back and the front to unload like a blown sub or to replace subs. And then another system for bolting them down, and because you can't really get a drill up in there and screw a screw in the thing because there's nowhere to put your hand. It's like that tight. The downside is all that. The upside is this thing is going to generate a ton of wind and play 24 to 44 hertz, busting your head open. We're looking at probably high 50s, probably up in the high 50s, like 58, 59. That's what we're expecting as far as SPL goes, which is going to be an extreme amount of sound pressure, and still being able to do mid 50s at really low, which is also nasty as hell. The problem is building this creation is going to be tough. So I'm still trying to figure it out. Things are, the processes are happening. Let's see here. And he said, "I'll bring you on soon, bro." Cool. I'd do a show with you, man. I wouldn't even cuss at you like EXO. EXO, he's so funny whenever he accidentally cusses. He's like, oh, catches himself. Guy's so animated, man. I love him. He is just an awesome guy. He's so honest and straight. He's just an honest cat. When you get 100%, you get to him. There's no show. If you guys ever get a chance to meet Bruce, he is exactly like he is in any video. He is nuts, and he's super caring and compassionate to everybody he talks to. He's sincere and caring when he talks to you. You get the feeling that you've known this guy your whole life, and that he really cares about what he's asking these questions. And he goes, this emotional thing, he just flips and flops and goes from one emotion to the other very quickly, and it is just a really interesting cat. So yeah, he's a great dude to meet. You won't. I say you should never meet a hero, but EXO is one of those exceptions. If you always wanted to meet him, you won't be disappointed if you do. He'll give you an honest time. Uh, let's see here. Stu's Custom Shop. It's been forever. I'm going to be real rusty. You'll be okay, man. You just fall right back into the saddle as you know everybody starts asking you questions. You forget about all that time that you've been goofing off. Um, let's see here. What else is going on in the chat? I'm following this chat. This chat's crazy. Like riding a bike. Yeah, that's right, Stu. One loud Mazda. Franco Quaid uh, said one loud Mazda got a box like that. You can get to the subs from the back. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing what I got in my head is using the bolts that have like two sets of threads. One goes one way and one goes the other. Um, and then I think the one set of threads goes backwards, which allows you to screw the bolt into something and then screw a nut onto the bolt like a stud. So I want to do something like that in the back and create a ring of bolts that stick out, and then push the back on. And the back will also have the port. For the bottom chamber is going to be made into the back, so it can all be removed. Because if not, it's going to be in the way. So it has to come off, and then there'll be like a cutout, in the baffle where the port will fit into when the whole thing goes together. And it goes on, and then you put the bolts on. And I want to use big, huge wing nuts, so I can just tighten them up by hand and crank down on each one like wing nuts all the way around. I think it would be cool. And just if you're gonna do it, just embrace it and explode. Go big with it. Big old wing nuts all the way around, and just kind of oversize them and make them look audacious. And then on the inside, I'm gonna do something similar, but the bolts would not come out, but just a little bit, leaving room for the subs to go in, and then slide them in and then set them down on one of the little nuts on one side to key the sub in the right position. And then whenever it's locked in on two of them, I can just kind of drop it on in and it'll fall down. And then I can either have studs all the way around, or I can have a couple of studs and then the rest of them holes for bolts to go into, like a T-nut or something like that. But it ain't going to be no screw gun screws in there. So we're going to have to come up with something else. And that's kind of the ideas that I have in my head. Then, using like a 1/4-inch bolts to hold the subwoofers in, and have a little wrench like a drum key with a deep well socket and a little flat piece to make like a drum key kind of thing. And then use that to tighten the nuts up. And then I can get in there with a ratchet and finish them up, bolt them in that way. This is the ideas that I'm having to come up with to make this all work. So it sounds like it's going to be kind of cool. We're hoping for the best. Franco Quay said, hey, he's got them carbon fiber MVX 15 subs. Yeah, those are nice, man. I like them. Good setup. Those are cool subs. I actually really I was at a hard toss between the NVX subs, the Trinities, no, the Eagles, the Golden Eagles, the NVX, Golden Eagle, and Slapz. Those were the three that I were looking at that were all very comparable. I ended up going with Slapz because the specs were slightly better, and as I was able to communicate with the people, and we ended up making, getting some stuff going. So they ended up edging out. But Golden Eagle and NVX were two that I was looking at, and Slapz, of course. Uh, Stu, so I got the roof of the Tahoe reinforced ish badly. I do have it sort of kind of reinforced. Basically, what I built was a really decent plug for the sunroof in the front. So I plugged it, and I got like a 3/4 inch piece up there that covers most of the front. It's not reinforced properly, but it's definitely not stock. Um, it could be a lot better, and we're working on making it better. Ashy said, "What's up, gang? Been a long, tough day, man. I know. Off to bed. Oh man. Well, it's good to see you anyway, brother. I had a long day too, just dragging that subwoofer box, and it took me like 2.5, 3 hours because it's so heavy. Oh no, Michael Smith in the house, dropping the tacos, baby.
Crushing on these tacos, we buy the Fiesta. Guac on the side, man, you know it's the best. Lettuce and salsa, stack it high, make it pop. Crunch in my mouth, can't stop, won't drop. Silver scissor in, flavor's cold is so sweet. After one taco, I'm in for a repeat. Bite after bite, got me dancing in my seat. Hitting up the taqueria, can't face defeat. Taco love in every single bite. Feeling good, every feast all night.
I love them tacos, man. Thanks for dropping in and dropping some tacos, my friend. Tacos are always welcome. Everybody loves a good taco. Um, Appreciate it, man. Let's see here. A tough days. Stu said, good to see you, Ashy. Yeah. Who is this pop down here? What's up, man? Did you see US Amps is bringing back the re-audio triple X subwoofers? No, I did not see those. I did not see these things. US Amps actually had they came out with a couple of subwoofers last year, and I don't think they were really SPL oriented subwoofers. They were more SQ oriented subwoofers. I didn't really get into them. US Amps is just they're pricey, man. I mean, the stuff, it seems like it's really good quality stuff, but it's priced outside of my personal price range, so I didn't really dig in. What's up, Bobby? I see you finally made it in here. Slacking. They're milking them goats. Stu said, I'm wondering if putting the port up close to the roof would add a little extra output. I have a theory about the angle at which sound meets a boundary. Yeah, there is that. It can. And the process of putting that port, whatever I do this thing, whatever I end up doing, whatever it ends up being, there's gonna be a continuous sheet of 3/4 inch that's going to go from the passenger driver area onto the enclosure and back. So it's going to be one solid piece. If I do the port on the top, we'll have the sub box will go in as a piece with obviously a hole in the top, and then the port will be built to fit on that hole in the top, marked off on the sides and everything. And then I'll put the port in as a piece and attach it to the box, probably from the inside. We'll probably have it marked off to screw up from the inside. They won't be able to go in as one piece together because there's not enough room in the hole for the whole thing to slide in. But so think of it like a hood scoop on a car. It would be kind of like that. And then the way the roof is shaped is, you got your 48 inches. Well, actually, it's like 52 or 53 inches on either side. But then and it's like 32 tall, but and toward the middle, it kind of goes up at an angle and comes back down like that. So what I'm thinking is, if I do the top the portal, follow that shape of the roof essentially, and we'll create that. So it'll be a little bit hotter in the middle, then it'll die off toward the sides a little bit. That's what's in my brain. I mean, this is all just barely in the planning stages right now, but I'm just kind of giving you the idea of what I got in my head. Kick his foot kicking off the stove like the taco track. Let's see. I thought you were going to make a video of the skeleton with his foot kicking off the stove like the taco track. I'm going to. Not exactly what you just said, but there's a thing coming for that. I am going to do a thing with. If you just think about Cookie Monster and how Andy does Cookie Monster, think about that. That's kind of what I got in my brain, and it's in the works. Just chill. Yeah. Subwoofer, yeah. It's coming, man. Just hang tight. we're going to put these subs to work over here. And he already, I had to turn him sideways. The funny thing is, this box is built so insanely heavy that it don't move. Like, he's not being held up there. He just sits there. I just carried him over there and just set him down, and he's sitting there. And he does not move. And I mean, that's what the bass thumping in here. That box is so dense and so hard and so solid that he don't move at all. He'll just sit right there. But I got a plan, so hang tight. There's something coming. Let's see here. What size and hertz would I build for a pair of old school Rockford Fosgate 12s? The first thing I do is I would look up the subs and find the TS perimeters on them, and look for box size recommendations and things of that nature. And if you don't have any of those things, if you can get the TS perimeters, which you should be able to find that, and then go to Subbox Pro. It's a free deal. That's what I use for my rough numbers. And you can put in the TS perimeters there, and it's going to give, and you put in, your desired frequency. Because if you can find the TS perimeters and it's got whatever frequency you want it to play at is literally what I would design it at. If you want to play lows, and then go there. But if you don't know what you want and you're really just reaching in the bag and seeing what you pull out, and it depends on the music. If you like listening to heavy metal, rock, things of that nature, then you would probably want to tune into like the mid 30s, 35, 36. That's going to get you up into 46 pretty easy, which will be plenty high enough to play all that stuff. Maybe a little higher, maybe about 36. And if you're more of a rap country guy, then I would tune to like 32. If you don't know what the hell you want to do, then 32 is usually a good number, around 32. Now, for me personally, I usually tune to like 28, 26 because I like lows. And I listen to music that's rebased that plays frequencies that low. If you're listening to standard issue music like rap music and country or whatever, most of it's not playing below like 30 hertz. It's mostly mixed higher than 30 hertz. So you won't get much out of that. But if you're like me and you listen to a lot of rebased stuff where you can get the frequencies real low, then you want to tune for that. But start with your TS perimeters first. Stu said, I think I've decided to do a large sub infinite baffle on the rear floor of my, that would be fun, of my 03 Tahoe with a smaller sub in the center console forward firing off the firewall. 03. There are 03 Suburban Tahoe. There are aftermarket consoles that you can buy that have configurations like what you're looking for. So before you build one, check out what's available for purchase. Even if you don't buy it, you can get some ideas for fabbing. Kind of some shortcuts and stuff like that. Maybe you also might be able to find them on a used market. All it is. Check out console sub box for Suburban Tahoe and Facebook Marketplace. You might be surprised. People sell some odd stuff on Facebook, man. But that would be a possible. I know you're probably going to build it. But even if you bought one for $20, it was a piece of garbage. It would be good for patterns. Pulling all the patterns off and everything. So you're not trying to get that to work that fit in. You're already going to be there, and you can just design it the way you want it. If you want to keep it stock looking, yeah, I got you. Use like bed liner to get that texture. Um, you can use the sponge technique. So like you can use what's it called? Trying to think. Two-part epoxy. You can use epoxy and get it to where cover the whole thing and get it to where it's starting to get nice and sticky, and then use a sponge to go along and create the little sponge pattern all over it. And you got to time everything right, or else it's just going to self level back. But you can do stuff like that and create that texture to get that peel. You could also use stuff like that snakeskin leather that you can get at the leather places. Those look with alligator skin and stuff like that. That shit looks really cool with leather seats. It's funny, man. You can use that with a regular cowhide leather seat and then like an alligator skin console, and it still, for some reason, works together. I don't know how that happens, but it does. Aesthetically, your brain goes, they're both skins, and so they both match, even though they're completely different. Um, I'm a big fan of bed liner, man. I've been using it, and I've just had great luck with bed liner. Dashes are sideways. No kidding, dude. Um, got a 2K extra cab as well that I daily doing sound treatment currently. Got to start pulling the dash ASAP. I hate pulling dashes. Um, I like, that's something I've always loathed. I would y'all remember back in the 70s when you had the big Ford LTDs and Crown Vics, Mercury Marquis, and the Thunderbirds. Ford just loved putting the heater core inside the cabin under the dash. It's like pretty much everybody else put the heater core on the other side of the firewall in the engine bay, and then the blower would blow it through there. You could access the heater core from the engine bay. Ford, in their infinite wisdom, put the damn heater core under the dash. So you had to basically tear out most of the dash to get to the heater core. Needless to say, if your heater core went out, odds are you was just going to cap them lines off under the hood, and you just didn't have no heat. he just cut the metal lines and put a rubber line to connect them back so that the circle is back, and they just left the heater core because nobody wanted to change that thing. It was a royal pain in the ass. Stupid ass 70s, man. They had some weird stuff they did with cars. What's up, colorblind? Stu says all the factory MOV dry rotted and fell apart. Left just yellow foam. Oh, oh man. Hey, if you're wanting to do a custom dash, check out Sprayway Customs on YouTube. It's a fella down in Alabama, I believe it is, that does crazy dash mods, fiberglass dashes and shit. This dude's like, there's the normal level, then there's next level, then there's like Asian. He's way beyond that, like epic, like holy crap level, you know, like SEMA level. Sprayway Customs on YouTube. Check him out. And look up Dash, redoing dashes or something like that. You get into those videos and just, yeah, he's got lots of tricks that he uses, and he completely takes destroyed dashes and then rebuilds them fiberglass, and you just got to see it, man. I mean, I can't I can't explain it. You just need to use your eye holes and absorb through the eye holes, and then that's all. That's the only way to do it. Uh, Sprayway Customs, um, dude's on. He's a badass. Colorblind says some Saturns have the heater core in that cabin too. They're easily accessible. Yeah, dude, you don't want to mess with those freaking the old Fords, man. I loved my Fords. I had a bunch of old Fords. I had I had multiple versions of Hot Rod Lincolns, uh, and I had a Crown Vic that was a ex police car. Um, it didn't have nothing but go in it. That sucker would fly, man. You, I can't talk about it, but we went for some rides. We took some rides in that car, uh, quite a few. Um, got a bunch of stuff for the 2000. Let's see. Anyone play with the new DD? Anyone play with the new DD mini amp? Just picked one up for testing purposes. It's tiny. I don't know. Digital Designs, I guess. Oh, yes, yes. My friend sells those, and they got a bunch of them. They got like a 2K and a 1K, and yeah, you dude, all those amps are like they're stupid. I don't even know how they do that. And he loves them, especially in crazy builds where you got to do some weird shit with amplifiers. That's his go-to amp for like everything. He's been using the crap out of them, and we did even like he did this one thing where they rebuilt this big old bus, and they put it was a party bus, and so they had a TV on each end, a big screen TV, and a sound system and speakers all throughout it, and lights and stuff. Well, the whole amplifier setup was in a small little box, uh, and he rigged up blowers to blow through the box to keep it cool. And um, there's a whole bunch of crap had to happen in this thing. It was very complicated because the driver had control over everything, master control, but then the secondary controls were in the passenger area. So the driver controlled the master, how loud it could go, but then however loud he set it at was the limit that they could control back in the back. So they still had control. And there's all kinds of shit like that. The TV, all that stuff. It was crazy. Very complicated system with a lot of complicated parts. And he used digital DD for all that stuff. So because of the size of those amps. Um, but yeah, Alabama's right next door, he said. Um, yeah, they are. They're tiny, man. They're tiny. That one I'm not familiar with. Colored by I'm referring to the ATC 250. It's about the size of a terminal cup. Holy crap, dude. I haven't personally seen that yet, so I have no input on that yet. But if it comes out of their camp, it can't be bad. Uh, yeah, Stu even likes them. So if Stu likes them, man, you know they're going to be good. um, but yeah, I'm still trying to decide whether I'm going to do the sixth or the flat wall. I can't make up my mind. Did you guys? Some of y'all saw the thing I did with the B2 Audio DSP. $150 for a really good DSP. Well, little piece of information. Something's coming up, and B2 is releasing a budget friendly 12. It's coming in the near future. And when I say budget friendly, I really mean budget friendly. And I'm gonna get one of the first ones in the United States. So hopefully. So we'll see how that goes. And we're going to do a review on it, and you guys can check it out. It may be a new superstar in the market. So y'all need to make sure you subscribe for that. And I don't have a time schedule on it yet. Stu said, "Wallet. It's going to be a wall regardless, dude. I've already got a wall. It's going to be a wall regardless, man." Saw one of those the other day on IG. Neat little rig. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen one yet, so I can't speak on it. But Stu said, "Wallet, be a man." I've already done that, dude. I've got a 415 ported flat wall right now. So you got to be specific. Sixth order, or 615 sixth order, or a 615 flat wall. Now I'm going to tell you, when I went to Alan about this, he actually pushed me to do a 415 sixth order. He really wanted me to do a 415 sixth order. Uh, and I said, no, I want six. And I pay for the stuff. So it's not that. It's not, he actually was giving up the sale because he felt like it'd be better if I ran four, because he knows the airspace limitations. Well, me and the mad scientist made it work. We managed to I originally was going to do 8. I asked my wife, I said, should I do 6 or 8? She said 8. I'm like, really? But there was no way I could make 8 work. There was not enough airspace. Yeah, in a car. Josh, what's up, man? Hello, just saw this in my recommended. Love the vibe. I have a Denon receiver hooked up to some 6.5 bookshelf speakers, drivers, and the doors. Okay. How do I recommend ducting the doors better than Dynamat? Let me think about that. It depends on what you're trying to do exactly, but usually, if you really wanted to slam them hard, using strategically and carefully, using the 2-part 6-pound foam can get you some really good results. And that, like I said, is strategic and carefully, very carefully. What you need to do is you have to take the door off, and then you use, like, for one, you take the door card on the inside and you take it off, and then you fill it up to a certain level with the 2-part foam. And then you would take the door off, and you can flip it down to where the outside part of the door is down. And then you fill in that up to the level to where the window still has room to move with the same shit. And You can, if you do this process correctly, you can make a door basically like wood, essentially. And then depending on how much of that you want to change on that door card, you can also replace parts of that with wood. These are the things you have to do. It's kind of extreme, but if you want to get any further than using like dynamite on everything, then you're down to two part 6 pound foam or and or wood. It's kind of where you're at. Fiberglass, shit like that. I spy a kicker comp Q. You do spy a kicker comp Q. That's exactly what you spy. It's not a kicker comp Q. It's kicker comp C. That's exactly what that is. And that's the little 10-inch that was in the barrel. Before the barrel went outside. The barrel's outside now. The barrel of base is outside. And but yeah, that little dude up there over his shoulder, it's exactly what it is. And that's what was playing in my barrel for a while. And behind his head is a Sony Explode, one of the 1200 watt Sony Explodes. Yeah. So he's chilling. He's staring, man. Dude's got a look on his face, don't he? He's like, I know something you don't know. Oh, man, you guys have been awesome tonight. Anybody got any more questions they want to hit me with? Hit me up. Comp C's, yeah, baby. That little sub, I was putting. All right, so I put on that Sony Explode up there. I put my 8K on it, and I cranked it up to. Oh, it was probably getting about 4,000 watts. I figured it was going to blow a long time before that, and it never blew. So I finally said, you know what, I'll let you live. I didn't just hammer it to death. That little guy right there, I put 1,500 watts on it, and it didn't care. Just didn't care. That little sub's a beast, dude. Let's see here. Those cops are troopers. Hey, no problem, man. You just gotta. Those are the things those are the steps. That's where you are. I mean, you got to be very innovative. 1 ohm versus 4 ohm load at the amp for efficiency. Higher ohm load is going to be more efficient on the amplifier. Like every amplifier out there, as far as I know, and there may be some that break this rule, but every amplifier that I'm aware of is more efficient in the middle of its ohm load range. So like if it's rated at 1 ohm, it's going to be more efficient at 2 and even more efficient at 4 ohms. And of course, that means that you're going to turn more of the power that you're taking in from the battery into bass. You're not going to make as much bass. You're not going to get as much power, but you're going to turn more of the power you take in into bass, with turning less of it into heat. You're also going to have more dynamic headroom, probably going to sound a little better. And it's not that the subwoofer necessarily sounds better because it's a 2 ohm or a 1 ohm or whatever. It's the ohm load that the amplifier is working at. And also the fact that it's not producing all of its potential power. Whenever you have dynamic hits and peaks, it'll tend to be more fluid and dynamic than if it's pushing the absolute limit. I like running subs running the setup at a higher ohm load than what its max is. I think it tends to sound better all the way around. It sounds snappier. It sounds cleaner. The amps don't run as hot, and your equipment lasts much, much longer. That's my personal opinion. Have a great one, Franco. Emmett popped in. Emmett says, let's get some damn tacos in the house.
Crushing on these tacos, we buy the Fiesta. Guac on the side, man, you know it's the best. Lettuce and salsa, stack it high, make it pop. Crunch in my mouth, can't stop, won't drop. Sliver scissor in, flavor's cone is so sweet. After one taco, I'm in for a repeat. Bite after bite, got me dancing in my seat. Hitting up the taqueria, can't face defeat. Taco love in every single bite. Feeling good, every feast all night.
Emmett said, Emmett said, no question. But I did want to tell you that I finally got those avatars playing for the first time today. Those are some angry bastards. Yeah. Yeah. You got the money, man. You can't go wrong with Deathbont's Avatar. Avatar is a real good, if you, when you compare what you get for what you pay, like value, uh, that can be a complicated subject, and depending on what team you're on and all this will vary it, side to side. I try to choose to work with brands that offer a really good value, so that you may not be getting the very best of something, but you're not paying anywhere near the price for that either. You're getting for the money that you put into it, you're getting a good return on quality and performance, and you're getting a good return on your investment. That's the kind of brands I like to work with. Deathbots has the lines that work that way. They actually have got enough stuff going on with the Avatar brand and the Machete brand. You can absolutely get into some nasty stuff with really good prices. Don't get me wrong, 100%. That said, I can get you more for the same amount of money with Slapz. So, that's why I'm dealing with Slapz right now. It's not because they're better, not even because they're cheaper, but the amount you get for the money you pay is just it's a better deal than most of the stuff out there. That's just how I found what I found to be true. That don't get me wrong though. I still like Avatar gear. I love Deathbots, Machete, B2. B2 is actually doing some things. They're making some moves, and you guys are going to hear about some of this stuff we've been talking. So you guys have been hearing, and we're going to be hearing about it. I can't talk about it much right now, but I'm kind of already told you a little bit. There's stuff coming that's going to make things happen, and there's going to be a few little things that are going to be pretty cool for our budget community. So keep your head up and keep watching. Taco party, Michael said. Hell yeah, brother. Stu, higher impedance reduces current to voltage ratio also. Yes. 100%. And Colorblind says a 4K at 4 ohms tends to be more efficient than a 1K at 1 ohm. Yeah, sure. Absolutely. I agree with that too, brother. Team Pie, Alibaba. Yeah. Hey, I don't have a problem with Team Pie, Alibaba ants, man. I don't have a problem with them. No, none whatsoever. And just make sure you're getting the specs. I don't care what name brand's on it. You guys remember, this is me. I don't care what name brand's on anything. I want to know all the specs, and I'm paying for specs. I'm not paying for a name brand. I'm paying for specs. It just so happens that some name brands generally have a good collection of good specs for a good price. That doesn't mean that everything with that name brand on it is going to be a good deal, right? And you got to stop shopping based on name brand. You can start with a name brand. Like, okay, well, this company tends to produce pretty good stuff at a pretty good price. Go look, but don't finalize it by that. Look at what you're buying. Look at the specs of the stuff. What does it do? What's its efficiency numbers? What's its ratings? What's its actual output numbers? What's its actual input? What's its specs? buy the damn specs. You know, uh, that's what I do. That's why I work with the companies I do, because I've already been through their specs and they work out. The numbers work out. You're getting a lot for your money. Um, and Team Pie, Alibaba amps, sure. Just be sure you're buying specs. Uh, let's see here. Emmett said, I got them on sale from Big Jeff, 365 or so for them. Nothing wrong with that. That sounds like a real good deal. Good deal. Good deal. I'm going to tell you a secret. If you can get a big fat sale on something that normally costs a lot more and the specs are good based on the price that you're paying, to jump on that shit. The only downside of that is, if you blow something, you're going to have to pay full price for the replacement if you have to replace it. So shit like that. But still, man, jump on it. Um, Stu, I'll tell you a secret. Yeah, I don't tell anybody I said this. This is a secret. Stu said this is a secret. Those Gothic subs from Walmart are actually decent subs for the money. Yeah, they are. Uh, let's talk about this. You know what? We're going to talk about this shit. Yeah. Red. All right. Well, we'll get back. Okay. I'm going to touch on that because I want to. Yeah. Hang on a second. Hate them real bad. Okay. Yeah. That sounds good. Red said, I remember you saying you didn't care about the DS18 Hooligan amps. The SMD amps are made by DS18. Yes. The specs seem to be pretty damn good. High signal noise ratio and damping factor. Okay, yes. Now see again. Okay, let me clear this shit up. All right. I said I didn't care for the DS18 Hooligan 5K and 3K. I did not say that I didn't care for DS18's amplifiers. They have a lot of stuff that priced for performance is fine. It's good quality stuff. The Hooligan 5K and the Hooligan 3K are overpriced for what you actually get out of them. That doesn't mean they're bad amps. You're just paying more for something that's not giving you as much. And I've run both of those amps. I bought both of those amps and I ran both of those amps. And they're a little power hungry. They're a little inefficient, and they're a little overrated power wise. And they cost a lot. So all three of those things add up to it's just not a good product to recommend. That's what I said. Having said that, that doesn't mean DS18 doesn't have good amps. That just means I didn't care for those, and I don't think that they're a good value. But yeah, the ones at SMD, as long as the price is good, the Steve Mead DS18 amps, as long as the price is good, and the price is right, and in the specs, you're buying the specs, and everything is good, and it's what you're looking for, then jump all over it. No problem with it, man. I've seen them. They're not bad. I think they're I don't think they're based on any of DS18's current amplifiers outside of that line, that like they didn't repurpose an amp board from a different line, because maybe the Q series could have possibly been, because you don't really see the internals of those on anybody. Nobody has those. The Q, like what they're called. They're I called them the SQ amps. They were really good amps. I mean, really clean amps and good power. I don't know. I haven't tried to compare boards, but I think they actually built those boards specifically for the SMD amplifiers. So, and Steve's going to be picky, you know. Steve's not. He's not going to. If you look at anything he does, everything he puts his name on, it may be overpriced, but it's always high end. He don't put his name on anything that is not up to a very high level and quality and everything. That's just not how his brain works. And so, if I had to guess, I would put a lot of faith in it. As long as the price is good, then that would be cool. If you can, the price is kind of the killer. Um, so, what's up, Dubby? Good day to you too. Uh, I wanted to talk about. Let me go back up here. I want to talk about inexpensive subwoofers. So here's the thing. Um, I can tell you guys a story. Subwoofer power versus like, okay, all right. So I four had four of the Audio Dynamics 2000 series 12s in the Tahoe on what did I have those on at the time? Let me think about this. No, I did have them on that. I had them on an 8K. Did I? No, I had them on two Memphis 1000. Yes. So I had four of the Audio Dynamics 2000 series. They're 500-watt RMS subs. And I had them on two 1000-watt Memphis 1000.1s. They were like the mid-level Memphis amps. They weren't the big ones. They were like the mid-level ones. And on music, I was doing a one on the windshield on music. I was doing like a 148 or a 149 on the windshield. This was in a box. Now then I went to four Depbont subs and an 8,000-watt amplifier. So I went from 2,000 watts to 8,000 watts. And I went from a 500-watt RMS sub to a 2,000-watt RMS sub in the same enclosure in the same build. And I went from that 149 to like a 150.5. It was less than a dB difference in the amount of output going from 2,000 watts to 8,000 watts. And going from a mid-level SQ sub to a pretty substantial SPL sub. The power needs to match the subwoofer, but more power doesn't necessarily make it more better. You need to be able to move. Here's the thing. You need enough power on the cone to be able to represent the sine wave fully with that cone mounted in the proper enclosure with the right amount of resistance. Okay. It's just that simple. You don't need more because you can only go so far with the driver. It can't just jump right on out of the damn thing. It's not going to work. You need the cone to be able to move and follow the sine wave that's playing at the volume you want to play it at. It needs to be able to follow that sine wave. And if the amp is producing enough power for that cone to follow that sine wave at that volume, you don't need any more power than that. That's just all you need. If you add any more power, or any more amplitude, you're just going to clip the speaker. You're going to create a sine wave that's too big for the mechanics of the speaker to be able to follow it. And it's going to physically hit the end and stop. And then you're going to, every time you stop it, you're going to get hot, real fast, and you're going to melt stuff. You're going to break shit. You don't need stupid, crazy power. You just need enough power. No more. Anyway, I have my rant. Let's see here. I'm not sure about it. I'd have to do some research. I can't. I don't want to just ballpark and say. Uh, I don't know. I can't speak on it. I don't have enough knowledge. I don't like talking about things that I don't have knowledge about because I don't want to, be one of those people. And I don't have enough knowledge about the DD M8000 to say one way or the other. I'd have to do some research. Um, Franco Quaid said, "Have you seen the new B2 speakers? Two and a half, the ones? Oh, the new B2. Yeah, hang on a second. Hang on just one minute. I'll be right back. No. Ugh. Have returned. Have returned. Mm. What? What? 9,000? Aha. It's like a Rubik's Cube, man. You mean these little guys right here? These little dudes? Yeah, I've got a video on this guy. Little baby. Got the removable ring. I think that's so you can put that from the backside and mount it, mount it down like that. Yeah, the little B2. I think we figured out that it would be somewhere around the equivalent of an 18 if it was full size, which would be one monster motor. You imagine that as an 18? That'd be like a 15-inch motor in circumference. And this thing weighs like a lot. It weighs like a pound. This motor is ginormous. Um, so yeah, I've seen them. Got one sitting right here in the box, man. I got it reboxed up. I'm planning on doing something with it one day, but we'll figure it out. But yeah, to answer your question. And I finished off the lasagna last night. So tonight it's going to be probably, I've actually been craving canned chili. I know who does that. Let's see, consolidate. I'm reading your post, Red. Eventually swap the Zapco Z8. Arcadio Blackburn. I'd have to dig into it. Yeah, Franco, not for me. Cool, but I'll pass on those, right? Hey, Debbie. Stu said, hey, Debbie, Blackbird for the win. Uh-oh, where'd Joe go? Man, stupid thing. Colorblind says, getting loud with big setups. It's fun. And all but getting loud with super low budget equipment is a special place in my heart. Yeah, whenever you are applying, okay, there's essentially two ways to do this, and then there's a little deviations all throughout the middle. One extreme size is, here's a bunch of money, do it, make it big, go. What's, money, done. And then the other end of the spectrum, this cat's like, man, I'm going to pull this speaker out of a boom box, and I'm going to pull another speaker out of this old home computer system. And hey, there's a speaker over there that come out of a, piece of crap little Subwoofer. I'm just, you finding all this junk, and then you go, Well, I got all the time in the world and I'm pretty good at building. So you figure out a way to build this into a car stereo system and you make something cool with a bunch of hot garbage. That's the other end of the spectrum. And I got a lot more respect for that guy than the guy that just goes, money, yeah, money. I got a lot more respect for that creativity. You know, that cat working with a couple of Logitech computer speakers and a, you know, whatever, that he could just find some sound bar he tore apart and took all the speakers out of. That kind of shit interests me, man. That's my jam right there. We can sit down and eat some chili together and talk about stuff. Um, that's way more fun and way more interesting. So I'm with you 100% colorblind. Uh, what's up, Shifty? Sorry, I'm late. Camping with the wife. How did you go, baby? Do it right, man. Show that love and enjoy those times because the most valuable thing, you know, the funny thing is in our world, most valuable commodity that we own is time. And it's the least valued thing. People are willing to spend hours and hours and hours waiting in line for some stupid shit or whatever, man. The most valuable thing you have is a finite resource and it's steadily going away your whole life. And people are willing to give up tons of it to stupid shit. Uh, Nothing else is more valuable than that, man. And the older you get, the more you realize just how much you need to value time. Time is super important. Sorry, I'm late. Camp in and oh, they got the new ones. Oh yeah. I hadn't got those yet. Sorry, Franco said. I got the new ones. No, I don't have one of them yet. The English guy that took B2 sub to a comp. Yes, he did. He also built a freaking crazy ass car with like 102-inch or 3-inch speakers in it, and run it in the competition. Yeah, that dude's nuts. I think he's actually Australian. I don't know, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. He's a goofy guy, and I like watching him. Anthony, what's up, man? Need a nice, decent, efficient 2 to 3K watt amp. Slapz 3K. Slapz Audio Shock 3K. That would be what I'd recommend. Depending on what exactly you're trying to do, I would recommend the Shock 3K. Um, yeah, it's. I mean, it's $189. You know, um, I've got I've got the 8K. I got two 8Ks in my Tahoe right now, and I've got the 2K.4, and they've all been 100% and never even shut one of them off. And I have beat the brakes off of my shit, guys. If it holds up in the Tahoe, it's a solid piece of kit because I am rough on this stuff. It gets abused hard. So yeah, my recommendation, the Shock 3K at Slapz. And my discount code is CAE, knock 10% off that price. Um, yeah, they got another one. Will a pair of those do 150 at 18 hertz? Damn right. he'll do a 60, man, at 10 hertz. Oh yeah, that shit's going around, and I hadn't even seen that video, but I just know how stupid it is. Adam something, yeah, Adam, that sounds right. Friggin' insane, dude. Can't think of the name of his channel, but I watch it. I actually subscribe to him. Um, Stu back. Had to go refill my tea. Oh, did you get me some? All I got is Diet Coke. Man, I need some sweet tea right now. Man, you suck. Uh, 2.5. I got you. Right. Who's hitting those lows? Big Jeff showed him today. Oh. Want to get him. Gonna get him. Beans or no beans. I actually prefer beans. Chili ain't chili unless it's got some beans in it. You know, it ain't got to have a lot, but it's got to have some beans or it ain't chili. So yeah, I may actually fry some hamburger meat up and make some beefed up chili. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, just kind of mix that shit up. You know, it'd probably wind up being a goulash before I get done. Just keep throwing stuff in there until it looks edible, and then you just put it on your plate. Get her done. As an installer, I like the money guy, right? Yeah, of course. If that's what you do for a living, you like the money guy. Here, man, you just take all of this and just make it. And that gives you the opportunity to do cool stuff. As the installer, you get to just kind of go crazy and just build the thing that you want to build and not have to be constricted, which is another layer of creativity. But I get a kick out of the guy that's scraping the bottom of the barrel and making things happen, because I've been that guy. Let's see, coffee, 189. Yeah. 189 with 10% off, and even lower than that. Beans and chili or go home. Yeah, I agree with you, man. Chili ain't chili without beans. See, y'all all agree with me. You ain't got to go crazy with the beans, but they got to be in there or it ain't chili. It just ain't right. Adam, he said, it ain't really tea, it's just brown sugar water. Yeah, look, dude, I'm from the South, man. Back in the South, you can stick your spoon in the glass and that shit will stay standing up. It don't even fall over. For real. Guys, I'm going to bust out of here. Y'all have been wonderful tonight, and I appreciate everybody tonight. And just keep being nice to each other, because it's the only thing you control is how you treat other people. And then they'll pass it on, and love can continue. Life is good. Let's get the duck out of here, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. Out here banging up and down the street, slamming it to the ground. Big subwoofers are getting loud. You can feel the booming sound. Getting ready to go. Got it shined up for the show. Power's charging, amps are amping, gonna let the woofers blow. Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one goes, and another one goes, and another one bites the dust. We got more at home. Another one bites the dust. Fires are glowing and the amps smoking. Subs are cherry red. Let me keep jamming, gotta keep the bass slamming. Gonna go hard till they're dead. Full power, gotta let it go. 20 hertz in the floating hair. Sparks are flying, voice cords are frying, and the smoke is in the air. Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one goes, and another one goes, and another one bites the dust. Hey, we got more at home. Another one bites the dust.